Hello, I am here with JC Williams, who played Mike Taylor in the ever delightful film Home Swiss Home. You got to check it out. I loved this piece. It was a really playful approach to that feeling of being a fish out of water, trying to make sense of a new culture, a new pace, a new life, and all the twists and turns along the way that come with that. So, JC, you are originally from Burlington, Ontario, but now you're living in Switzerland.
Yes, yes, I am.
You're kind of living your character's story. Did life imitate art, or was it the other way around?
Maybe it's a mix of the two.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it was a funny process, but yeah, he's not me because I'm not Mike, but
Yes.
we've gone through the same paths in life to end up kind of where we are. Let's say
Right.
that.
I like that. And how did this particular project come into your life?
It was interesting because, okay, so back in the day, like I moved to Switzerland. I'm like, I need to do something because like I was in Vancouver and acting in Vancouver and everything, and things were starting to roll, and then had to come to Switzerland. So I'm
Hmm.
in Switzerland, like, okay, I need to do something, need to do something.
Yeah.
And looking around, and I found a meetup group, filmmakers in Zurich. I'm like, hmm, I'll check that out.
Why
And
not?
then some people like, hey, yeah, let's get together and make a film. And you know how people always talk and talk and talk. So that was going on.
Yes. Yes, they do talk, but they actually made something and made
They
some
actually made it.
really.
Geert, he was part of the group, and he saw kind of how it was kind of there was energy, but not enough energy. So Gert's like, okay, forget this. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna write something.
Mm,
So I'm like, I'm in. Whatever it is, I'm in.
yeah.
So he started writing, and then like we chit chat a bit about here and a bit there and everything, and then next thing you know, we're having auditions for people, which was really cool because for me like it was the first lead that I've had. So
Mm,
it was a lot of fun because I got to take a lot of the stuff that I've learned on set before and apply it. But
yeah.
also it was really cool being behind the casting desk and seeing actors audition for it. And you know how you always hear casting say, we're always rooting for you. We're hoping you're doing your best.
Yeah.
Well,
We
you know
want
what is
you.
yeah, exactly. We want you. But it was friggin' awesome to be on the other side watching these actors, trying to support them and trying to give them the best opportunity to give the best performance. So that was a lot of fun. And
Yeah, and
it
you get to
also
see
changed it
what
into the
works
priest.
and what
Yeah,
doesn't work. And yeah, that feeling of yeah, you want the next person to come in to
and
be
just
the
go.
person to solve your problem, right?
And you want them to give you a hard time because there's one time we had somebody and she was friggin' awesome. Lizzie Jones was just friggin' wicked, but the part that she was reading for was already cast. And so then she was reading for a smaller role, and we're like, okay, we don't know how or what, but we need to get her. We need to find some way to get her in. And we had
Yeah.
a great scene. It was she played Rita. That's right. With the falafel and all that stuff. But yeah, it
Yes.
was so
Yes.
much fun. It was so much fun.
There's so many funny moments in this film. Yeah, my favorite I think is you giving the Heimlich maneuver and oh, I'm not choking. I'm speaking Swiss German. So good,
Yeah,
so good.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was. Oh, Melina was freaking awesome to work with as well. She played Martina, and
Yeah,
yeah. Sorry, I cut you off. So it's just whenever I talk about stuff, I'm always like so passionate and yeah.
that's
So
what we're looking for. And it's clear that that passion comes through in the film. I mean, I was perusing your resume, and
yeah,
it seems like you played quite a lot of those authority roles,
yep,
one of the guards and the cops, the hard hitters. And
yep.
it's fun talking to you because I see that effervescence bubbling over and that passion and that joy. So it must have been refreshing to get to play this charming leading man, but I'm sure that there was challenges to shift gears as well. What was that experience like taking on more of this comedic leading man role?
Well, it was. I mean, all the work that I did in Vancouver was friggin' awesome. It was every time getting on set, it's a learning experience.
Mhm.
Um, like, and taking on the leading man, it was cool because I got to pull in from different actors and different climates of sets that they would have, and I just wanted to be really protective of the other actors.
Yeah.
because maybe they didn't have the same experience or whatever. So I just want to make sure that they were in a safe space that they can be free to explore their character a bit, and then we could play a bit and see what
Yeah.
happens, see what hits. So yeah, the leading man was cool. It was really fun, and it was nice to be able to build a character from almost from zero to in his ups and downs, and even like in his clothes. Like I try to make sure that his clothes reflected kind of where he was. Like at first in New York, all flashy, flashy, and then as the show goes on, his clothes get a little more subdued, subdued until he's wearing, spoiler, the Swiss cross at the end. So,
Yeah, I love it.
so
I
yeah,
can see that. I can see how you had that detail with it because I was thinking it's a really funny piece and there's such a nice lighthearted approach to dislocation, but
yes,
it really worked because I believed you, because it was open and believable and there was that chemistry with the
yeah,
cast. So I think it's really lovely to have somebody with your professional experience be able to be that grounding force in a scene and allow the play, but also allow people to feel at ease that they're in good hands. So
yeah.
congrats on that.
And thank you, thank you, thank you. But like everybody was awesome. Like everybody brought their own thing, and it was like again, like I said, it was a lot of fun. And
Yeah,
like I think we shot it in 16 or so days.
that's
So
it.
like yeah, so we had to like gel really quickly, and yeah, and you see the results. So
Yeah, it feels very cohesive and it feels like I was predicting it was going to be months that you have had been doing this because there's so many scenarios
yeah.
that you have. What was your favorite part of filming? Was there a particular scenario that you really connected to?
Favorite part.
Hmm.
It was tricky because like it's the whole process is fun. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to find a favorite part. Um, I liked trying to lay little Easter eggs here and there that
Mm.
probably only like I'd get or people who know me would get.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing that I love about film and the thing that I've loved about set from when I used to do background to standing into stunts is the connections and the relationships you make.
Yeah,
Most
absolutely.
of the most of the cast and crew, like we still keep in contact one way or another. We filmed that in 2020, like right when we had like a little lift off of the COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
So there's all that stress going on and also being all safe regarding that. But yeah, it was a really, really, yeah, what was the best part? That's a tricky question. That's a very tricky question. But
Yeah.
the whole
It
thing was,
almost sounds like the community of it,
yeah, yeah,
which is it's interesting that you were filming it during kind of that downtime in COVID where there's a lot of momentum
yeah,
to create and
yeah,
also the momentum to get together and you're in a new place. And
yes.
not only are you making the art, it's reflective of your experience and you're creating that community that clearly in the movie it says it's not always the easiest thing to do. Switzerland. So it's pretty cool. Were
Yeah.
any of these scenarios in the film one of your actual experiences from arriving there?
Uh, well, I've been to Switzerland before. Like back in the day, I played American football
Ah,
for a
cool.
team out here. So that's what initially got me out here, and then I moved back to Canada. But um, I haven't been fined, which is good. I try to keep my nose clean. But I mean, there's one bit I think I actually ad-libbed it in. It was when it was at the party and there's all these rules and like he's always making mistakes and he doesn't know and then like he finally loses it. He's like, how am I supposed to know these rules? I'm not from here. How
Yeah,
would I know that? And that's kind of how it is. They kind of expect you to either know
yeah,
or no.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Be gone. You're not going to be in my
Yeah.
social circle.
Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that was a thing that I found really, yeah. It's
I love,
tricky. It's like that in any new place you go to because like I think in the other interview with Sandeep, all you really know about Switzerland is money, chocolate, and cheese. you
Yeah.
don't really know that much else about Switzerland.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to kind of like trial by fire.
And you only figure out these things. You can kind of read it in a book, but you only realize some of these very intricate social hierarchies and norms when you're right in the thick of it.
Yes.
Like they are things that are so normalized that people wouldn't think to tell you about it.
Yeah.
And that's why I think this movie is so relatable. I have had friends that have moved across the globe, and it's always they've done their research, they've prepared diligently, and then they arrive and say, "Oh, I can't wear this color," or this
Yeah.
shaking somebody's hand and looking them in the eye means I want to challenge them and not
Yeah.
say welcome. But so I think this is a super relatable movie and one I would recommend to people whenever they're about to make that leap or that life transition to go somewhere else. For
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, there's some things, of course, that are pushed over the top. Yeah, but
Yes.
it's it's all in fun,
Yeah.
and it is an experience I'm sure many people have had when they go to new places. And it's just
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to get by the next day and how to, stay out of trouble while connecting with people.
And after you saw the final product of the film, what was your reaction?
I was like, finally. No.
Always.
Well, it's tricky because when you like it was a ultra, it feels like in UBCP standards, it'd be like ultra low budget production.
Yeah.
So when it's like that, people have their life, people have it like here in Switzerland, like most people have their job. And then, the art's our hobby. It's fun. Hey,
Hmm.
let's make a movie. But
Dabble.
it was it was fun to see the story come together
Mm.
because you always have it in your head what it should be, and when you're acting, you don't know what you actually like. You do when you're in it, you don't know what you do. You're just
Yeah.
in the moments, and you're in the
In
scene
the
with your
zone.
partner, with whatever. So it's cool to see what translates and what doesn't. And of course, you're always super critical of what you do, but
Of course. That's
overall, it's like, okay, it worked. It worked. Yeah.
yeah, especially when you're filming out of order as
Yeah.
well. You think, yeah, are we telling the story? What is the story? But I'm very impressed to hear that it was shot in such a quick time and that it was considered low budget because I thought it was extremely professional, very sleek and
Yeah.
well compiled. So
Well,
really
Sandeep, he was a DP and the cameraman, and he did the editing and everything. So
yeah,
he's a force here in Switzerland. So we were really lucky to get him on board because
yeah.
that helps everything.
Oh, 100%.
It's
Editing can make or break a movie as well. So that's
editing, camera work, and sound.
oh my goodness, yeah.
Oh,
Bad sound,
yeah,
woof, just throw it all out. It's also nice that he was the main connector between those elements. So he
yeah,
had that vision
yeah,
and you don't need to have the middleman along the
yeah,
way too. So that's lovely.
yeah.
For everybody else watching it or for friends or family that you've shown, what has the audience reaction been?
They've liked it. They've really liked. I have some friends still in Vancouver, so I sent it to them, and they're like, "This is like a Hallmark thing. This is Hallmark
Yes.
style."
Yeah.
So, and like it's a shame because right when I moved to Switzerland, like that summer, that's when Netflix opened up their studio in Vancouver, and also that's when Hallmark started getting a lot more diverse. So,
Hmm.
but it's nice to see that they're doing that a lot more. So, maybe there's a taste for this as well. The fish out of water in Switzerland, and we make it through the day. So,
Yeah. I think we got to send this over to Hallmark. Straight on up. That was one of my
ah,
first thoughts. I was like, oh, Hallmark, hello, this is fun.
yeah,
Um, and you also got some awards and some very positive reception. There's Silver Award for Best Actor in
yeah,
Music and some other nominations around the globe. So that must have been kind of a boost.
yeah. It's kind of cool because when you do this stuff, you're not doing it saying, "Okay, I'm going to do this, so then I get that award." But
Yeah,
so it's nice to be recognized for doing something that you're passionate about.
very much so. And
Yeah.
something that was a new foray for you in
Yes.
taking on this type of role. So
Yeah, comedic leading man. Hey, so
yeah.
because I'm very, stoic and serious, and
Oh, you were the most serious. As soon as we hopped on the call, I said, "Oh, this is going to be a tough interview because he's
yeah,
very subdued and yes,
Low energy and yeah.
I can see why or how you do improv. That would be right
Well,
on par. So I would love to give you the space to plug some future projects that you're working on. I heard that you're in an ensemble cast for a office comedy pilot.
yeah, we filmed an office comedy pilot, I think a year and a bit ago, and it's called House of Switzerland. And it's fish out of water. It's like about a bunch of Swiss people and me. We work at a Swiss tourism agency, but it's located in London. So it's like dealing with the different cultures in Switzerland. You have like the German, you have the French, and there's one dude who's friggin' awesome, and he speaks Swiss Italian, French, Swiss German, and Retro Romanish, which is, and also English. So he speaks five languages. It's incredible. And that was written by Bernie Forster, who I'm also in the improv hoi polloi with. So I'm an improv group with him. So yeah, that's plug-in as well. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's just fun.
I love when life imitates art and you
Yeah,
can it seems like your group is great at creating this not like a national type of work, but using experiences from Swiss culture to bring to light and also doing it in a comedic way. I think that's really important because I'm trying to think of how many Swiss films I've seen.
yeah,
I don't know if I can think of any other
yeah.
than yours. I need to get out on the scene a little bit more. What am I
I
doing?
mean, there are a bunch. A lot, of course, are in Swiss German or French or Italian
Yes.
because of the national languages, and those usually get a lot more funding.
Yeah.
The TV stations are in German, so it's kind of tough sometimes to plug it in to get connections that way. But I
Yes.
mean, these are always great, fun advertisements for Switzerland and just for life. And
Made me want to go, seeing those gorgeous scenes
mountains are everywhere.
and the chocolate.
Yeah, of
I know I'm
course.
probably sick of people saying that, but yes, it
And
is
the
great.
cheese and Roger Federer's too walking around every so often. And hey,
I loved that at the beginning. And Roger Federer. Hi. Hilarious. Well,
yeah.
thank you so much for chatting with me this
Oh,
morning. This
no
has been
problem. Thank
a
you.
delight.
It's a lot of
And
fun.
equally as delightful as the film, I can see how your own personality has come through in this film, and you really brought yourself to it.
Well,
So
thanks.
it's quite lovely, and that's what makes great art is when the creators know the actor that they're dealing with, know the vehicle of which the story is being told, and that can come to life on screen, and we get that lovely magic of it being authentic.
Yeah.
So thank you so much
Well,
for that.
thank you very much. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. Great questions. And hey, anytime I'm around, just
Oh, I'd
chat.
love to chat
Chat.
more. And maybe about your future project, if it's in the
Yeah.
Wild Sound showcase, we can
We'll
chat about it
possibly
as
try to
well.
get it to happen. Yeah.
Absolutely. Have a great
Awesome.
one. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks. You have a great one.